Ryobi has just released a brand new universal fit line of accessories for their wet dry vacs. Now the best part about these is that they are universal fit, meaning no matter what brand you're using, these will work. They fit a 1 1/4 inch hose diameter, 1 7/8 inch, and then also the large 2.5 inch. Now we're gonna walk through the entire lineup of these new accessories, but really quickly, I wanna show you this cuff system that they use because it's really, really impressive. It's actually a nice rubberized texture and it fits really, really snug. So hopefully you can see here, right? You have this outer ring diameter, you have this inner ring diameter, and obviously for the larger ones, it'll just fit right on this inside. The medium size, it'll fit on the outside of this inner ring, and then for the smaller one, it fits on the inside. It's all angled, so it fits in really, really snug, and because it's a nice rubberized material, you can actually flex it on really, really hard, and it's not going anywhere, guys. It is on there solid. So obviously, if you bend, I mean, even then, it's on there really solid. So if you take the time to actually put it on, it's not coming off, and you can work normally just like this. Regular crevice tool, that's typically how I do it, is I hold up front and get to work. And with other ones that I've used in the past, I personally don't like having a larger diameter here, just it seems to get in the way. But since I'm only holding up here and this doesn't come off, it's really not a big deal. Now they have 7 new accessories, everything from, like I said, crevice tools to floor attachments to brushes and even these little detail tools. Now, one thing that I don't have here is they actually sell a universal cuff system now. So it's basically just this piece. So you can take that, attach it to your hose, and then attach whatever attachments you have to it, then it'll make everything work. Really cool. I don't have that piece here, but they do make that as well. That thing retails for about 20 bucks, I believe. Now, really quickly, I wanted to see how universal this fit actually is. So here's my little Ryobi stick vac. I did a whole review on a bunch of these stick vacs. I'll link that up here for you guys if you haven't seen it. I covered 2 of the Ryobi units, as well as a Shark and a, what else was it? A Dyson. So I'll link that up here for you. But when you remove this, obviously there's some pins here for powered attachments. Obviously these aren't powered, so no worries there. I just want to see if this actually will fit. Let me bring it up to you guys. Now obviously you wouldn't be using a crevice tool with this. There's no reason for that, but let's just go with the floor cleaning attachment tool and let's see if it'll squeeze over the top of this. Yep, it absolutely does. I don't know why you would do this. You probably have, you would already have your attachments for this thing, but I guess if you're in a pinch, that absolutely will work, right? So pretty cool little system. Now this is a brand new item for Ryobi, and they are exclusively offering these at your local Home Depot. Not all stores have them yet. They're filtering in. It's a brand new item, like I said, so keep your eyes out for these things. And I couldn't find them online yet, but as soon as I can, I'll link them down in the description for you. So let's go ahead and touch on each one of these. We'll talk about the pricing and what is the most usable in my personal opinion. And number one, right off the bat, guys, the crevice tool. The reason that I like this one so much, obviously it's universal fit, but I really like when they are flexible because I'm able to angle it into, especially when I'm detailing cars, I can get it under the seats, I can get it into certain areas that I wouldn't be able to with a standard hard tool like this. Now, if you're like me, you know about the Rigid brand and also the new Bauer from Harbor Freight. They have an accessories kit for vacuums, and they have a crevice tool like this, which is flexible. And I really love this thing. This thing has always been my go-to. The only slight problem with this is, and it's really not that big of a problem, you can even kind of file down the end, but basically it's hard plastic here, hard plastic on the tip, and then you have the rubberized piece. What that does is this edge, because it is a harder edge, potentially if you're vacuuming like your leather or whatever, it could potentially scratch. Not really a big problem. I haven't had that issue. You can file this down, like I said, if you feel anything sharp, but it is just something to be aware of. Now with this one, their flexible tool, the whole thing is that rubberized material. The whole thing. So really, really flexible, and then again, a bit softer up here because it is that rubberized. You still want to be careful, right? You always exercise caution when you're working on your leather. You don't want to damage it, or plastics or whatever else. But I think that since this thing is all rubber, I think it's a really, really cool item. This thing is coming in at a price tag of $17.97. Again, fits whatever hose you're using. And for me, this is the most, if I was gonna buy any of these out of the whole lineup, it would be this one. This is the one that I use 99% of the time. It's good enough for cleaning up your full floor mats and stuff in your car. And then because it is rubberized, you can get it into all the tight spots as well. So this would be my #1 choice. Moving on to number 2 is going to be this guy here. A little detailed, really small. I think it said, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's a 5/16 opening here. And then it does have a little venting system on the side here. What is that for? Well, if you're using a larger powered shop vac, right? So I was using a rigid 6.5 peak horsepower unit. With this, if you have this thing closed and with that smaller hole size, it's sucking so hard through that it makes the vacuum kind of surge a little bit. It's almost like wanting to collapse in on itself. So you open this up, it relieves some of the suction, still a ton there though, and you can kind of dial that in as needed. But this little attachment, guys, this is my new go-to for leather. It's really soft on the edge. It's already kind of filed down and really nice. So all the tight spots in the car that you can't get to with this guy because it is larger, you take this thing and you can get extremely, extremely detailed. Is this 100% necessary? No. I think 95% of the time you're gonna get everything done with this, or with air. If you have air, you can blow stuff out and then vacuum it. But the seams and seats, all that kind of stuff, the tight spots in the car, I think this thing is awesome. And this one was coming in at a price also $17.97. I don't know if they're gonna be offering like a full kit where you can just buy all of them for a discounted rate. I don't know that. But moving on to the next one, and this is your floor tool, or automotive style floor tool, right? It's just a smaller claw. And this one is retailing same price, $17.97. It is a hard plastic. And again, I'm going this route, right? Definitely the most useful, second useful, and equally secondly useful, I guess. Because with these two, you can get a lot of work done. But with this one, you can get all of this work done, kind of a thing. It may not be as efficient, but you can get it done. This one is great though, I will say, cleaning your large areas. And then also, if you want to leave that freshly extracted carpet shampooed look, spray a little carpet cleaner on there, go back and forth with this thing. It leaves a nice track down. Really, really nice tool as well. From there, we're going into 2 more units. And I don't know how I feel about these ones. I think they're very, very useful, but just not for me really, because the first one's gonna be that crevice tool, and this is just a hard version. So for me, because they have this, I don't need this, right? This is unnecessary for me. I do understand that. I think they list this one as the wet dry, so if you're doing more wet, I get that you're not gonna have any mold growth or whatever on this, probably because the hard plastic versus this is a little more porous. I don't know. Also, this one is cheaper, $14.97 versus the $17.97. For me though, it was a $3 difference. I would definitely lean here, but they do have this option for you as well. From there, coming in at a price of $15.97, they have a brush style attachment. I just wish that for me, I wish they had done this a little bit softer. It's not super rough. It's not hard, but a little bit softer, because this isn't something that I would want to use on, the vents in a car or something like that. It's just, it would worry me a little bit. Where I would use this is to help kind of pull some stuff up out of carpets. But again, I don't think it's completely necessary for my purposes. I think, around the house, around the garage, all that kind of stuff, it could be a very beneficial tool. Just for me personally, not the most useful. Next up, we have this guy here. This is their detail, I can't remember what they call these things. It's an interesting concept. Again, because it's really small diameters, they do have the little venting system, so you can, still use it no matter what vacuum you're using. But basically what this is you can stick it in, I think it's a precision detailing tool, I don't know. But supposedly because it's all these little ends, it can get into more corners than something like this could. Again, for me personally, with the vacuum suction, even if it can't fully integrate into that whole little space, the vacuum suction is still gonna pull anything in there out. So again, for me, I understand there's a place for this. It's just in my arsenal, it's not something that I personally need. At least I haven't found a reason for it yet. But for me, yeah, it would be one of my last choices. And finally, guys, we have the floor tool. It's a 10-inch floor tool, 2-inch opening. Let's see here. It has little rollers on it just to help movement. on the front and the back, a little water blade. So if you need to clean up water out, you know, in your garage or whatever off the floor, it'll help with that as well. And then it's just on a little ball system that just kind of spins all the way around. So you can angle this thing however you need. Is it the easiest thing to move around? No, I wouldn't say that. It's easy enough, but it's still, I think it could have been a little easier. Again, for me, just not where I would go. If I was gonna go with the floor cleaning tool, I would probably go with a bigger one. I did talk about the Rigid brand. They have some good ones on there with detachable blades and stuff. So I would probably lean that way for that one. But again, I think it's a cool option to have. I think the color combos look great. This one, again, is my favorite by far. Crevice tool, flexible all the way through, softer top. And then I think having the bright green Ryobi color on there is cool. Second up for sure would be this guy, just because there's not a lot of other things that can do what this can do as well as this can do it, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is the new lineup from Ryobi, or Ryobi, however you say it. I always say Ryobi because my dog's name is Riley, spelled with a R-Y, and it's Riley. So, but I think properly, I know on some of their marketing material they say Ryobi, so whatever it is, if it bothers you that I say Ryobi, I apologize, but that's just how I say it. Anyways, guys, make sure to keep your eyes open at your local Home Depot for these. Again, for me, for sure, this one, 100% for sure. This one, if you want to get a little more detailed, super, super cool. So that's it, guys. I hope that video helps you. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and we will see you guys on the next one.